Welcome to the session. This is part 3, and in this we'll be going through what is memory, about CPU, what is the post method, what is hardware, software and firmware, and different operating systems. Basically, memory is defined as to store any data. Memory is categorized into two types. One is the primary memory and the other one is secondary memory. Any input value which we give is stored in this memory. Say we give some input to any program through keyboard. The input which we have given, it will be stored in the primary memory, and secondary memory, it is used for storing data permanently. Say we save few programs, few files, songs, movies, different types of files which we store permanently is called as the secondary memory. The primary memory is volatile. It means when there is a power off, all the data which we have entered will be lost. Say we are executing some program to calculate the sum of 5 numbers, and assume we have given 4 numbers, and when we are about to give the input of 5th number, there is a power off or the system is restarted. Then all the 4 inputs which we have given earlier will be lost. This is called as the volatile memory. However, the secondary memory is non-volatile memory. When I say it is non-volatile, the data will not be lost even when there is a power off. The data will be stored permanently in the memory. Primary memory is also called as a temporary memory, whereas the secondary memory, it is called as the permanent memory. It is a semiconductor memory and it is a non-semiconductor memory. The example of primary memory is RAM, and RAM comes with different sizes. Basically the sizes are considered in the power of 2. Say 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5 and so on. So being that the minimum size of the RAM can be 2 power 0, which is 1, and 2 power 1 is 2, and similar way 2 square, 2 cube, it is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024 and so on. These are the different sizes which we get in RAM. And the examples of secondary memory is a floppy disk, a hard disk and also a compact disk. And in this slide we will see how actually the process is performed in between the keyboard, the CPU and the monitor. The keyboard, it is a standard input device, and monitor, it is a standard output device. When we enter the input, we will be seeing the output on the monitor. In between, CPU is the thing which performs the task and displays the output on the monitor. In CPU we have control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, RAM, ROM and different secondary devices like hard disk, floppy disk, CD and so on. So When the system is on, first the power supply will be invoked to ROM, which will in turn trigger to the post method. We will see what exactly the post method in detail in the next slides. So whenever an input is given from the keyboard, it is accepted from the CPU, and in CPU the CU and ALU together called as a processor, it will perform the task and the output will be displayed on the monitor in the required fashion. Any standard keyboard will have the size of 101 keys, and the multimedia keyboard has more keys. The control unit and arithmetic logic unit together we call it as the processor. Whenever a computer is on, ROM gets the first power supply, or ROM gets invoked first, or we can say the ROM is the one which is triggered first. A computer can be defined as an electronic device or a machine or a system which accepts the large amount of raw data stored inside the memory. So whenever we give an input, it accepts the data and it is processed in ALU in conjunction with control unit, converts into the required output fashion and displayed it on the monitor. This is a process which happened behind the scene. Now we will see what exactly the post is. The post stands for power on self test. It is used for checking the healthiness of a computer. So when a power on, first the supply is given to the ROM and the ROM will start the post method. So post method initially it checks the healthiness of the CPU and the RAM. In CPU it checks about the CPU processor and the primary and secondary devices, and then it checks about the availability of the standard input and output devices, whether the keyboard is connected or not, whether the monitor is connected or not, and those status will be verified. And after that it will verify the non-standard input output devices, say like joystick, the webcam and many more, which are not the standard input output devices but the non-standard input output devices. And it checks the different ports, what all the ports, if all the ports are properly connected or not, the webcam port, the hard drive port and many more. And once everything is verified, the post will display a table of content with the healthiness of the CPU, the RAM, the input output devices and many more. Now we will see what is hardware, software and firmware. Hardware, it can be defined as all mechanical, electrical, electronic, magnetic materials and their peripherals are called as hardware, or in simple terms all physical components which are visible is called as a hardware. What is software? The program which is defined to solve a given task is called as a software, and the program consists of the set of instructions. Also we can say group or set or collection of instructions is called as a software. Through this, when a software is executed, will inform the ALU to perform the particular operations and then it provides the output. What is firmware? A hardware in which some software is integrated during the manufacturing of the hardware. It is called as a firmware. Example, ROM, BIOS and so on. In ROM, when a power supply, ROM is a hardware, and when a power supply is triggered to the ROM, it is designed in such a way that whenever the power supply is triggered to the ROM, it automatically starts the post method. So to start the post method, some software is integrated on the RAM. This integration of software into the hardware is called as the firmware. Now we'll see what is then operating system. There are different kinds of operating system. We have single user operating system which performs a single task. Say example is MS-DOS. When you are into DOS, you can perform only one task. Multiple tasks, shifting between the multiple tasks is not possible. Whereas multi-user OS is an operating system which performs the multitasking. All the Windows OS like Windows NT, XP, 7 and various versions, these are the multiple user operating systems where we can shift between the tasks. When we are documenting anything, we can also shift between the PowerPoint, we can go to the browser, and even still all the opened applications will be running behind. And we see different drives in our computer or laptop. Basically, when we load an OS, by default it will give the drive as C, and based on the partitions it will be divided among C, D, E and so on, and the last one which is available will be given to the compact disk. Why? Because the drives A and B, those are dedicated for the floppy drives. So if there are two floppy drives, A and B will be allocated. If not, the A will be allocated to the floppy drive and B will be kept alone, and all the partitions will start from the C drive. This is all about part 3. Thank you.